The Diveheart Foundation has helped thousands of people with disabilities experience the freedom and adventure of scuba diving.
Joining us now to discuss the advantages of scuba therapy is founder and president Jim Elliott. Thanks for coming back and visiting us. You know, you're a former Tribune employee, so good to be back in the building and, and see
WGN
things.
Radio. I was here years ago.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about how you got into figuring out that scuba was a perfect vehicle, I should say, for people with disabilities.
Well, I had been guiding, teaching blind skiers for decades.
Wow.
So I saw it change lives, and I'd been diving since college, because as a journalism major, I thought if I ever meet someone like Jacques Cousteau, I'd better not a scuba dive, right? I mean, really, it was just another arrow in my quiver as a reporter. And I said, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, it's like jumping off a building and hovering, like being a superhero. So I decided I wanted to be an instructor. Of course, then you have a family, and that detains everything. But I left the media business, left CLTV, and decided to start this nonprofit and don't draw salaries. We're 22 years old this year.
Wow.
And we do programs all over the world.
But what does it do for people with disabilities?
Well, the thrill for me is taking someone out of a wheelchair who's never been in the water before and getting them to stand up, and they look down, they go, oh my God, I'm standing up for the first time since my injury, or if you have cerebral palsy, maybe the first time in your life, because you're kind of a slave to gravity.
But I would imagine how scary that's got to be, because water in itself can be dangerous, and you add a disability to it. It's got to be a very frightening and liberating experience at the same time. You
got to wrap your head around it. The thing that I always laugh at is when the person for the first time puts their face in the water with a regulator and a mask and breathes in and then goes, I can't do this, I can't do this. And I just laugh, I go, your brain's saying, what are you doing, stupid? You know what I mean? You're not supposed to breathe underwater. So those combinations of wrapping your head around that and then getting people out, with mobility issues especially, in a zero gravity environment where they can get range of motion benefits. And that's why we do research with university medical centers all over the world, really, to start looking at some of the benefits. Like we did the first study on autism and scuba therapy with Midwestern University in Downers Grove, because for kids with autism, pressure is a kind of a therapy. They have pressure vests and weighted blankets and sensory deprivation rooms. Well, when you go underwater, it eliminates surface distractions and helps you focus. And when you take photos and video of the kid, it's like, oh my God, they're like rock stars. They show it, and then they self-identify as a diver instead of somebody with disability.
Does that then translate a little bit to their life outside of the water? Like they can remember it and it helps them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps them take on other challenges that they wouldn't have taken on before. I tell people it's really not about scuba diving. It's like taking the unrealized human potential that exists in people with disabilities and creating a paradigm shift. Now it's not Johnny in a wheelchair, it's Johnny the scuba diver. Now when they say, wow, if I can do this, I can do anything, then you point them towards coral reef restoration, marine biology, oceanography, make them good stewards of the environment, which we need.
Yeah, for sure.
But in some cases, you do have to modify the equipment in order for them to have this experience.
We use equipment like the full face mask.
Okay.
This is for somebody that can't hold a regulator in their mouth. I had a Marine one time, a grenade had taken off part of his face, so we use this and we put surgical tubing on the inside of the skirt to make it conform to his face. But autism, we have folks that are nonverbal, and so we use this, but it has comm units, and we actually last year took a quadriplegic gentleman on a shark dive in the Bahamas, and we had 4 of these units so he could talk to the boat, and his wife was on the boat, and we did it for a TV show, and it just changed. Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, wow.
And the cool thing about this too is I'll carry a long hose, so he has a short hose that goes to his tank, and then what I'll do is, before we get him back on the boat, we'll take his gear off, we'll open the surface port so he can breathe, but then I'll pop this on really quick, close the surface port, and now we can transfer him back up onto the transom of the boat, which makes it safer, because we have a lot of extra hose. And we've been using this technique for like 20 years, and this is the exact same technique. Remember the soccer kids they got out of Thailand?
Yes.
This is the same technique that they use to do that.
Oh, the work is translating in other areas.
And these are specialized gloves.
These are webbed gloves. So if you can't use your legs, if you can't use traditional fins, you can put these on your hands, and manipulate yourself through the water. And we dress individuals with disabilities like quadriplegics. So what we'll do is slide their hand through the wetsuit, and then if you pull the end, Ta-da!
Oh,
Yeah,
ta-da.
it comes off really easy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this
my
is
God.
amazing.
I use it to put on my wetsuit.
Yeah,
I'm kinda
because
like,
that seems like that thing's a little difficult to
when you
get
get
into.
wet, they're hard.
And you guys just got back from Malaysia, so you're not talking about just doing some diving in pools around town. You guys are going everywhere in the world.
China, Australia, Israel, the UK, all over the Caribbean. Yeah, hundreds of cities in the U.S. In 22 years, we've really changed the entire dive industry. I started doing this in '97, and we incorporated in 2001, and here we are. I mean, we actually just got 2 patents on a design for a pool. We want to build a deep warm water therapy pool here in the Chicagoland area, and we're going to do. So I had plaques made, but I have paper covering the actual design because we're going to do a reveal party in November, and we're going to kind of blast it out there and show the design and everything. But
This is so awesome.
It'll be cool.
Diveheart. I was getting ready to say Braveheart. You got me, right?
It's not a bad mistake to make. You know?
We're talking about the correlation between the two. All right, diveheart.org is where you can get more information. I imagine people can make contributions there as well.
Please, yes, yeah. Individuals are our big,
And you're always looking for instructors, people, you're training people to volunteers.
Instructors, yeah,
People
participants.
who actually want to participate. Yeah, I was going to say want to get
we
more
don't charge for our
information.
pool program, so if a kid or an adult with a disability wants to get in the water, just let us know.
That's amazing.
Jim,
Thank you
amazing work.
so much.
Thank you for coming in and sharing it with
Thank
us.
you.
All right.
Fantastic.